Students, welcome to Gokul Junior College. Today we will discuss the conditions for successful functioning of democracy. Okay, last class we have seen what is democracy, what are the initiatives in democracy, and what are the devices in democracy, and what are types of democracy we have discussed in the last class. Today we have to discuss about the conditions. See, what are the conditions for successful functioning of democracy? That means we have seen here democracy is nothing but, simply we will see that democracy is nothing but two parts we said. One is a demos. Demos means people, then kratos or kratia, whatever you can call both. This is nothing but rule. Okay, rule by the people, rule for the people, rule of the people. This is democracy we have discussed. And once again we have seen three principles in democracy. What are those three principles? What are the three principles which we have seen in democracy is welfareism, secularism and liberalism. These are the three principles which democracy has to propagate in the wherever the state. So, when we speak about democracy, we say democracy is the largest religion in the world. What we will call democracy? It is the largest religion in the world. And what is the holy book of democracy means? The constitution itself. So, we will call constitution as a holy book to the country. Why we are saying? Because what is constitution? It is nothing but set of principles. What is principles? The theory which we are based on. What are the theories? What are the principles which are based on the welfareism, secularism and liberalism? When we say welfareism, certain things, till now we have discussed welfareism was only explaining about the policies for us. It is not only about the policy, it is about our way of leading the life also, that we will discuss. First, in welfareism we have seen well-being of people is only by the government which gives us policies. Okay, that is a part which we will accept. And what is welfareism? When people will be happy, when they are also responsible. Can we clap with one hand? No. That means welfareism, only government cannot propagate or only government cannot give you welfareism. Even we the respondents of government, that means we the people of this country are also responsible to keep responsibility like promoting welfare in the society. How? We will discuss now. Now we are saying conditions. If you don't have conditions, these conditions, then your democracy will be in failure. There are many countries which started with democracy, ended with something else. We will not discuss about those countries, but why we are saying democracy? When we speak about democracy, it is very good government, but it is very tough to maintain. Why we are saying this? Unconditional democracy will lead to unlimited hypocrisy. What I am saying here? Unconditional democracy means without asking anything, conditions, giving a free thing to people will start unlimited hypocrisy. That means people will misuse the liberty, misuse the benefits which are given to them. Even today, many things are misused in our country. Now, when we speak about conditions, first what is the condition? First we must have a written constitution. Why we must have written constitution? Already we have discussed what is constitution. Constitution is nothing but set of principles. Set of principles means set of instructions to the government, to the people. See, it is nothing but set of principles, nothing but instructions to both people and the people governing agency, that is government. Both have certain rules and regulations. Yes, when there is a written constitution, see, government has certain responsibility. Government must be responsible, government must be transparent to the people, and people must be loyal, people must be very honest to the government. So people has to behave in a good ethical manner. We have discussed ethics. Where we have discussed ethics? Ethics we have discussed in first chapter. So once again we will not jump into first chapter, simply we will see what is ethics. Ethics, we have two types of ethics. One is professional ethics, one is personal ethics. So when we have two types of ethics, that is professional and personal. When it comes to ethics, the lay down standards of good and bad is the morality, what we say. Morality is nothing but ethics. So हम morally good रहना है. We must be morally good. That means we must be honest to the government. We must be loyal to the government. We have to respect the integrity of this nation. Then only the written constitution can exercise its power in a right manner. Why India adopted written constitution? Whereas we have copied many things from many other countries, but we took a written constitution. Many principles were taken from British constitution, but we did not take unwritten constitution and we did not take a hereditary monarchy. So these two things we did not take from British. So this written constitution says the amendment procedure is very tough. कुछ भी आपको अमेंडमेंट करना है, आपको कुछ भी चेंज करना है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के अंदर, तो आपको कैसा प्रोसेस में करना है? पार्लियामेंट्री प्रोसेस. दैट इज लेजिस्लेटिव प्रोसेस हम इसको बोलते हैं. If I am the prime minister, can I change anything according to my wish and will? I have liberty, no? Today I am speaking that this is a democratic country. I have liberalism, that means I have liberty. I am a prime minister, I have liberty to change any rule? No. We follow written constitution. So when we follow written constitution, the set of principles, the set of instructions are mentioned in it. Example, when it comes to our rights, we are discussing that we have fundamental rights in the parliament, in the fundamental rights in the constitution. From where we have mentioned that from 12 to 35, the article says you have fundamental rights. And when we say set of instructions, there are certain instructions to the government. How can we say? Means from 36 to 51. These are the articles which are empowering government to work on certain instructions. What we call them? Directive principles of state policy. This we will discuss in next year. It is not so important topic in first year for you, but how government has to run with the instructions of the constitution. Where are the articles mentioned? 36 to 51. What are those articles called? Directive principles of state policy. A people of this country have certain fundamental rights. We say fundamental rights. From where? 12 to 35. Article number 12 to 35 gives us fundamental right. At the same time, we have fundamental duties. What is fundamental duty? It is our responsibility. Where it is mentioned? In 51A. Where it is mentioned in the constitution? In 51A. I guess it is clear now. First we have to see the conditions. We have certain conditions. Yes, we have certain conditions. What is the first condition? Written constitution is a good condition for the successful functioning of democracy. If there is a written constitution, if the amendment process is in a parliamentary process, that is through legislation, that means participative democracy is successful here. When we have participative democracy, that means democracy itself says everyone have participation in it. What Professor Seeley has said? Professor Seeley says democracy is a government where everyone have some sort of participation. So this participative democracy is successful when there is a condition of written constitution. We will see second thing now. I guess this is clear. Okay, I will rub it now. Now we have to see if democracy must be successful. Second thing what we need is education. Now you will be surprised how education will help us. See, education is a main tool. Okay, see, you can bring any change with education. What Abdul Kalam sir said, every change in this world can be occurred only with the effects of education. Until and unless there is no education, we cannot be successful in functioning the democracy. Actually, we don't know what is democracy if we are not educated. So, what are rights? What are responsibilities? What is equality? What is fraternity? What is unity? What is integrity? See, unity in diversity is born with India. Unity in diversity, why we say unity in diversity? We are all diverse in nature, but we all are united at a place. See, we have different states in our country, different countries, different states speak different language, they have different culture, they have different tradition. Even from one religion, both the different state people have different traditions and cultures. See, so much unique cultures we have in our country, even though we all were united when during the Indian national movement, that is demand for freedom. So this unity and integrity has become part of our daily life. So we have to promote unity and we have to follow our integrity. That means we must not divide ourselves in the name of anything. So integrity and unity has to be always followed. That means when you can do this, when you know the importance of unity and integrity, that is through the education. And the terminology called fraternity. What is this word fraternity? We say fraternity is nothing but the brotherhood. Why we need brotherhood? That means to promote unity, ultimately you need to have fraternity. Here, irrespective of gender, irrespective of caste, creed, stature, personality, everything, we have to promote fraternity. This is what the summary of our Indian Constitution is. What Indian Constitution says in preamble, the soul of the Constitution says fraternity is an important topic. It is a great objective which we have to follow. So that is nothing but the brotherhood. And we say equality. Where it is mentioned, Article 15. Article 15 we say about equality. What is equality? All are equal. When we say rule of law means in front of law all are equal. At the same time, when you say equality in opportunity and equality in benefit. So equality also we have to promote irrespective of caste, creed, gender, stature, personality and status. This we have to promote. Then coming to rights and responsibilities. We said we have fundamental rights, at the same time we have fundamental responsibilities also. Every right has a hidden responsibility. When we speak about rights, here we are speaking about liberalism, the principles of democracy. The third principle of democracy is liberalism. Liberty is not guarded by judiciary directly. In turn, liberty is dependent on right, and when you don't get your right, you exercise your fundamental rights. That is, judiciary department helps you. Where you have right, at the same time you have responsibility also. Next, when we say education is also important thing. Now we must have a strong opposition. We say strong opposition is also a important condition. If we don't have strong opposition, then the leaders will become dictators. Do you feel this is king's time now? ये kingdom है क्या? Democracy country is participative democracy. What we have discussed about democracy? Democracy is every person has something participation in. So dictator means there will be a leader, he will dictate the rule to everyone. So if there is no strong opposition, if any rule created by the leaders who are elected, if they are not opposed by any party, then they will become dictators unknowingly. They will become dictators, which that what will happen? Society will lose its welfareist principles. So welfareism will be gone. Why? When dictator will rule, there will be no concept of welfareism. We have seen in history, we have seen Nazi party, we have seen communism, so we have seen totalitarianism, we have seen idealism. All these principles proposed only dictatorship. What is a democracy propagating as? Democracy is propagating as welfareism, secularism and liberalism, that is ultimate freedom. So this is very important condition. If there is no strong opposition, then there shall not be successful democracy in the country. Then we say there are three pillars, which already we speak that government has three organs. Three organs we have discussed, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. We say these are the three organs of government. So what the general people say is these are the three pillars of the country, and there is one more one more pillar, that is the media. Let it be print or let it be electronic. That means what we say is the press. Press of this nation is also a pillar of this nation. So press in this country is also a pillar. Why we are saying? Legislature is a lawmaker, he is making law which is good to the people, that is which promotes the welfareism, and executive approves the welfare measures, the laws, whether it is right or wrong, and judiciary department check whether the law which is created by these two, the interdependent departments or organs, are true, are according to the constitution or not. And what is the duty of media? Now we will say, sir, these three are doing their job. Legislature कानून बना रहा सर, executive approve कर रहा, judiciary review कर रहा, constitution के हिसाब से है या नहीं है. So press का क्या काम है सर? Press must be impartial and there must be freedom of expression. Already in our constitution we have fundamental rights mein freedom of expression is mentioned already, but freedom of expression they have to exercise and they have to expose the reality. Now what is the duty of press? Press duty is to expose the reality of the government. If the government is doing wrong, then they have to expose. If the government is doing good, if they are creating initiatives, then they have to expose and they have to educate the people. So the main responsibility lies on the press also. So press must be impartial, it must not be partial, it must follow the freedom of expression and it must expose the reality. By this, these are the successful functioning of democracy which are important. Then here when we speak about rights, then we say secularism. Already we have discussed the topics of secularism. That means India is a secular state, which is mentioned in preamble. Preamble is nothing but the objectives of our constitution. Objective means which must be done time to time, which must be implemented in the society. That means why we are speaking about secularism here, because we the people of this country must be tolerant. We must be tolerant. Tolerant means we must not encourage communalism. We must not encourage communalism. So, with the communalism, that means divisions in the society in the name of religion will develop communalism, and that will create a type of terror in the society. So, due to this terror, due to intolerance, communalism will develop. Due to this communalism, ultimate terror will spread and the development will go into vain. That means development will not take place. Development will go into decline. So, there must be preconditions, there must be conditions for successful functioning of democracy. So, this is end of the topic. So, we will meet with the next topic, rights and responsibilities. We will see civil rights and political rights in the next class. Thank you. God bless you.